Hello, I'm Dr. Ramani. These English apps come to you from the studios of Apps Academia, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, India. We are so used to speaking that when we speak, we do not know what exactly happens, right? Well, that's all right as long as you are talking in your own language. When you start speaking a new language, you should know what happens when you produce the sounds in that language. So in this lesson, we will learn what happens when we speak in English. What's the anatomy of speaking? We speak with the air from the lungs. We draw it into the lungs quickly. Then we release it slowly. Then we interfere with its passage in various ways and at various places. Let's see the parts of the throat and mouth and nose which are important to recognize for English. You'll now see an animation. Listen carefully. Vocal cords are folds. When air is released from the lungs, it comes up through the windpipe. It reaches the larynx. You have two small bands of elastic tissue. They are like two flat strips of rubber lying opposite each other. These are the vocal cords. The inner edges of the vocal cords can be moved towards each other. They can meet and completely cover the top of the windpipe, or they can be drawn apart. Then there is a gap between them. Through this gap, air can pass freely. When we breathe quietly in and out, this is their usual position. When vocal cords are brought together tightly, no air can pass through them. When the lungs push air from below, the air is compressed. If the vocal cords are then opened suddenly, a sort of coughing noise is made. You can see this for yourself. Open your mouth wide. Hold your breath. Imagine you're picking up a heavy weight and suddenly releasing it. This is called the glottal stop. The vocal cords actually spring apart. Try this a few times. You can vary the compression of the air from heavy to light. When you lift a weight, it's heavy. When you gently cough, it's light. Bring the vocal cords gently together. The air from the lung forces them apart for a moment, but soon they return to the closed position. Then the air forces them apart again. Then it will close again and so on. This process is very fast. It may take place as many times as 800 times per second. It's not possible to hear each individual click of the opening and closing. What we hear is a musical note. If the opening and the closing is very quick, we get a high note. If it is low, we get a low note. This note is called voice. Some of the English sounds are voiced and others are not. Say a long or v sound. Put your finger on your neck by the side of the larynx. You feel the vibration of the vocal cords. Keep your lips closed still. Just breathe hard through your nose. You feel no vibration. Repeat this. Say a long or v. Then breathe through the nose. You'll get used to the feeling of noise and no voice. You'll get to the feeling of voice and no voice. Now say the word more or bore. Keep your fingers on your neck. Does the second sound in the word also has voice? Oh, yes. Now say a long s sound. Is it voiced? No. There are no vibrations. You can thus find out the difference between voiced and unvoiced sounds. This is very useful when you say words like pin and bin. Voice is one of the components of sounds in English. There are other components about which we will see later.